Hello there, Aries. Welcome back to Misfits of the Zodiac. My name is Ace. I am doing a winter solstice reading for you guys for today. I am very happy to be back. I just got done with a TV show, actually. Ooh, you're getting some really sweet cards. For those of you who don't know, I am a background actress, and we just finished on a show that I was on for like 4 months. So I was trying to get a lot of these readings done during that time, and I barely was getting them out. And then the show ended and I crashed, so I just needed some recoup time. So we decided, instead of doing December readings this month, I was just going to do a winter solstice reading, which I was kind of feeling called to do anyway, so it kind of worked out. I'm also going to be pulling a card at the end that is specifically for Yule, which is the winter solstice, for any of you witches out there who are celebrating. Happy season, happy holidays. I know some people hate that when we say that, but I like to be inclusive because there's a lot of people celebrating a lot of things right now. And this is probably not the page for you, or the channel for you, if that makes you feel uncomfortable. So, I am going to be pulling an oracle card from that deck. It is specifically a Yule deck. I feel kind of like we're good with this. I'll show you real quick. So it is Seasons of the Witch. It is specific for Yule, specific for this time of year. And let's pull a card for that. You have some really great energy that came through, Aries. You are ending this year strong. Okay. Ooh, you got 3. Okay. One of them I might not be able to show on camera because I might get in trouble. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So the first card that you got is the 3 of Pentacles. Sometimes this is about building something with trusted others. I get the feeling that you are... Sorry about that, Aries. That was something for work. So, back to what we were saying. So the 3 of Pentacles is sometimes when you're building something with trusted others. I kind of feel, though, more inclined to say that this is talking about you receiving some sort of either kudos or some sort of recognition for what you've done. If you are in a business setting, this could be you getting a raise at the end of the year or some sort of bonus. But I feel more inclined to say that it's recognition. So someone, in some way, you are standing out. This could also be in your family. This could be in your friend group. People just recognizing what you bring to the table and you getting the appreciation that you deserve. So this is a very, also is a card that's talking about you kind of like leveling up in some way or bossing up in some way. This person is receiving an instrument from this older gentleman, and it's kind of a recognition of him going from an apprentice to a master at his craft. So I feel like this is talking, again, you've been working really hard on something specific, and you receiving some sort of kudos, some sort of leveling up in some way. So that's a really great way to start off this reading. Again, this will be for the winter solstice, so starting on or around about the 20th, going through the beginning of winter. So I think it's really interesting that the next card you got is the sun. So the marking of Yule, or the winter solstice, is when the sun starts to come back. So the winter solstice itself is the longest night of the year, and from that point forward until summer solstice, the sun will be regaining its strength. In other words, the days will become longer and longer until that point. So I feel it's interesting that you are in alignment with this energy. The sun is returning. This is a very abundant card, a very happy card, feeling very abundant and harvest-like, if you will. I feel like you're feeling really good towards the end of the year. You're feeling like you've made some major accomplishments. But I think also you could be receiving some sort of wish coming in because you have the Nine of Cups. This is my wish card. In this card, you have a little ladybug that's on the side here. This is a good luck card. Something big that you are hoping for or been hoping for, either to achieve or to receive, you are receiving at the end of this year, and it's making you really, really happy. This could be the thing that you're being handed in this particular image where you're bossing up. So it could be a raise, it could be some sort of extra money coming in, or some sort of recognition. I kind of feel like it's more of like a gift from the universe, something that you couldn't really necessarily see coming, if that makes sense. And it's going to feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. It's going to be kind of a surprise. So that's a really fun energy to have towards the end of the year. Your next card is the Page of Chalices. This is talking about you finding fulfillment and creativity. You could be a creative. You could be a creative entrepreneur, and you're kind of getting your mojo back. You're getting back into that vibe of like, I want to create for me, and I want to create as a way of self-fulfillment. And I feel like there could be a lot of really positive, let's see, how do I want to say this? There could be a lot of really positive things that you create as a result of I'm finding it interesting that I'm having a hard time talking. It's almost like with the throat chakra, sometimes you being able to speak or getting being able to communicate what you're trying to create. When you're creative, sometimes it's a struggle, and I feel like maybe leading up to this point, you have been maybe struggling to like get back into that feeling of like having your creative energy kind of flow. And I feel like towards the end of this year, it's going to come back to you, and you're going to be creating some really, really cool things. So if you've been feeling a little stuck or a little energetically frozen, if you will, the flow will start to pick back up at the end of this year. The next card that you got is the Oak King. I'm feeling inclined to talk about the Oak King in relation to the battle that happens between him and another, it's escaping me at the moment. You just might want to look up the Oak King, do a little information dive on that, and specifically talking about the battle of him and, I cannot think, it's basically, I want to say it's talking, they come together and they have some sort of a power struggle in the summer, and then also in the winter, and it's kind of a representation of the winter solstice. So that's kind of interesting that would come up. So I kind of feel like there might be more in that story that you may really provide you some extra juice, if you will, for understanding this card. But this is talking mostly about a perspective change. I feel like in this stillness that we have towards the end of the year, in this feeling of kind of hibernation mode, sometimes we get a really great view of our life in whole and what we've achieved so far, and what any sort of experiences that have led us to the point that we are at currently. And I feel like this is giving you a better perspective on it. Maybe you've been a little hard on yourself, and now you're starting to see like, oh my gosh, despite everything being thrown at me, despite the world being completely upside down sometimes, I still found a way to work through whatever came at me. And I feel like this is going to be a really positive perspective shift. It feels to me like a paradigm shift, which I wouldn't say is rare, but it's like on another level. It's not just a perspective change. It's more of like the whole way that you understood something before is completely being altered in a positive way, and it's going to help shift your focus on things that don't matter as much and more on things that do, if that makes sense. All right, your next card is the Eight of Wands. There's some sort of information that's coming in thick and fast. And it's interesting because your next card is the Three of Wands. Sometimes this is a travel card. You could be getting some information about travel. Maybe you've been thinking about traveling and you're waiting to see whether or not you have the funds for it. But I feel more than anything, there's some sort of information that you've been waiting for to make a judgment call about something that's coming in, and it's better than what you expected, because this is, in this particular deck with the Three of Wands, it's talking about you put something out there and what you received is more than what you expected. So again, because you also have the wish card being fulfilled, towards the end of the year, there's something, whether it's a resume that went out or some sort of you sending energy out into the universe, it's coming back tenfold, way more than what you expected. And I feel like it's kind of like not only coming at like the best time, but it's so much more than you could have imagined, and as a result, it's going to kind of set you up for success for the following year, for the year coming up, and it's going to really have potentially a life-altering change for you. So be mindful of that. That's a really positive energy coming in. I feel like the next card, the Ace of Athames, is talking about you getting, as a result of all of this, getting clarity on something. I feel like with the perspective change that we were talking about, there's some sort of the information that's coming in as a result of you kind of like taking some time to reflect on your life is going to lead to you knowing exactly what you need to do when you need to do it. And again, with the Page of Cups, things might have felt a little stagnant for a while, and now you're part of that stagnation might have been a result of not having clarity. I feel like it could be very much related to business in some way or your job in some way. And now that you have this sense of clarity, you're finding like a sense of peace and potentially a complete shift of what you've been focusing on. And you're excited that you get to focus more on the things that mean more to you, and you have more time for that. And I feel like it's going to be beneficial to you in a lot of different ways. So the cards that you got for your oracle is a ceremony, which I'm not going to hold up because there is a naked woman on this, and I don't know if I'm going to get restricted on this. It says, I call upon those heralds of winter, dimming light for better sight. Hear the praise spilling from the lips, and spell I'll cast for the spirits in me. I feel like with ceremony, this is talking about you. This is talking about celebrating your accomplishments. Back to the Three of Pentacles, this is about you receiving your kudos and taking time to revel in that and not rushing through the ceremony, if you will. Really allowing yourself to be proud of yourself and to sit with that and not rush through it and feel like, oh, it's on to the next thing. Maybe taking more time for acknowledging what you've accomplished is going to be very beneficial, especially at the end of the year. There's major shifts happening for you. And there's also some major information or some sort of wish coming in that I feel will allow you to have some sort of ceremony. And by that I mean some sort of celebration, really. It's got like Three of Cups energy, which is celebrating with like-minded others. So making sure you take time for that is going to be really, really beneficial to you for any kind of goals that you want to set for the new year. You also have candle magic. So finger the spine and caress thy lips, light the spell spilling from the grip or your grip. And then you have cardinal medicine. Thyself bleeds of sacredness and honor fit for the gods. You are worth all the seas and all the skies and all the desires you hold inside. Candle magic is usually manifestation. So again, I feel like you've been manifesting something maybe even all year, and it's finally like coming to fruition, and you're starting to see the fruits of that hard work starting to come to you. And I feel like cardinal medicine again is asking you to realize your worth. See what, I know for me, I've struggled a little bit in the past. I feel like everyone kind of does at some point in their life with self-worth. I feel like by the end of this year, you're going to have a better sense of what you bring to the table, a better sense of what you have to offer just in general to yourself and to the people around you. And I feel that more than anything, it's what you're seeing in yourself you may have never seen before. You're starting to value certain things, the way that you look at things, what you bring, the love, the sense of attention that you give to others, your generosity to others. I feel like it's going to come back to you in a big way. And I feel like the people around you are going to be almost like mirrors of that generosity that you've given. And it's going to allow you to see more and honor yourself in a different kind of way. Does that make sense? Because you're seeing what you've built and you're reflecting on it, and they're reflecting back at you what you've given over time. Okay? So any sort of help that you've given others may have allowed them to live their life more fulfilled. And as a result, they're reflecting that back to you in some way. And it's giving you a lot of this, I keep feeling this like tingly feeling of like, not only excitement about the future, but just this energy of what you give, you get back, and they're more than happy to reflect it back at you because you deserve it. And I feel like you finally feel okay with saying, I deserve this. I deserve happiness. I deserve quality of life. I deserve all the joy and wishes granted. So again, I feel like you're really like finishing this year off really strong. I'm super proud of you and happy for you. This is like a really, really great reading, I'll be honest. I feel that if you're able to take time to reflect on where you've come and see how far you've come, and along the way, you still found time for others. You still found time to give your energy, to give your love, to give your encouragement. That's going to be reflected back to you at the end of this year. Okay? I hope this reading helped. I would love to hear from you in the comments, or get a like, share, subscribe, and have you come back as a misfit if you enjoyed this reading. And until next time, I will see you soon, Aries. Bye.